Can't you see that you're lost without me? I can feel the thunder that's breaking in your heart. I can see through the stars inside you.
Hi, Bobby Jack here, and today's video is on the NECA Ultimate Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning Dream Sequence Jason. And yep, he's finally arrived. Let's get on to the video.
First off, as usual, taking a look at the packaging, it features the theatrical poster for Friday the 13th Part 5, with a silhouette that appears to be Tommy holding a machete, along with Jason's hockey mask amongst the mist within the red background. On the side of the packaging, you have what seems to be Jason from Part 4, since you can clearly see the side chevrons with the one that's half worn off. I'd like to compare this to Part 4's spine of the box, just to look at how similar the poses that Jason is in. You can clearly see they're very distinctly similar. The back of the box showcases a few set design photos of the figure with the various heads displayed on Jason making up for each picture. Note how there's a lightning effect around each photo, almost as if it were a frame. Then we have an image here that has little Tommy Jarvis in his raincoat standing near Jason's grave. You do have a little read-up here in which, for a fun fact, it's the same exact read-up from the NECA retro Pseudo Jason, or should I just say Roy Burns. On the side of the flap, there's a nice picture of Jason rising from his grave, and of course here's where the figure would be housed. Taking a look at his deadly accessories, we have his machete. It has a striking resemblance to Part 6's machete, well, handle-wise. The blade itself is completely different. Next up is an ice pick, which was used on one of the gravediggers in Tommy's dream. Jason jabs it right into the guy's neck, and you know what happens. And finally, a double-sided axe. The blood does look slightly odd from the way it was applied, nevertheless, a minor nitpick. I almost forgot about Jason's tombstone, the wooden tombstone with his name sloppily written on it. It definitely has a wood grain to it. And then you have the stump of dirt that is practically the base to hold this tombstone up. Pretty neat accessory indeed for the tombstone, I will say. In addition, we get the split hand from the ending of Part 4 included with this figure, since the Ultimate Final Chapter figure did not come with this hand. The downside to this hand is it can't be used on the regular releases, and you can't really use it on the Ultimate figure because, looking at the hand, as you can see, the fingernails aren't black. So, it is what it is. Now, I suppose we'll check out his alternate heads. Sadly, the masks aren't removable, which is a go figure, especially for this being, a Part 5 figure. The hockey masks are molded to the head, thus making his head slimmer in width, as he clearly doesn't have the feature of a removable hockey mask. There is no point of a face sculpt, so that might be the reason why the width between the head is slightly scaled down. The Hallucination Head. This is the version of Jason that Tommy sees in the reflection of the mirror or at the hospital towards the end of the film. The bonus head, I suppose you'd want to call it, with the VHS cover hockey mask. For sure a really neat inclusion, but I won't really display him with it. Taking a look at Jason himself, he's overall just a badass looking piece. He almost as if has like this menacing look to him. It's like the appearance that I want to say. Like, the figure looks relatively dirty and wet from simply like he's standing in the rain. It's a really nice touch on NECA's part, I gotta say. But at the end of the day, it's the Final Chapter body mold after all. Although NECA surely did make sure this figure looked completely different with the paint applications. It's perfectly fine that this figure is the way he is, as Jason looked remarkably the same with, the slight differences in the hockey mask, with the straps being on the inside of the hawk in the dream sequence and the window scene. It's so unique that we even got a version of this Jason in figure format. Never thought this would actually end up being a thing, but of course, now it is. But the question is it worth picking up? If you're a Friday the 13th completionist or a fan of Friday the 13th Part 5, for sure, definitely pick him up. I'll be displaying mine with the Resurrection Hawk, so this extra Part 4, which is an original release back from 2012, I'll display him with the Hallucination hockey mask just for the sake of having both versions that we see of Jason in the film. So, as always, I'll take some photo shots and that'll wrap up this review. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And until then, see you next time.